Hey, welcome to the channel. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Today I'm kind of under weathered, so just bear with me. My voice is kind of cracking. I got sore throat, so I still want to make the video. I saw the stock that I want to bring to your attention. The stock, it's not good, okay? And I'm gonna go through the details and the way anybody could play this is a very risky thing. And I'm gonna go through the full things on this stock. And the stock we're talking about is called Gfai. This is a Hong Kong company. This is a Chinese company. Apparently they work with, they want to be able to build robotics for your business and all that stuff, right? So there's a very small company with the market cap of the company is around 50 million. Okay. And the volume they trade on average is about 12 million for the shares. And yesterday on Friday, end of day Friday, they closed about 28 million shares were traded. Now, small company, right? Institutional banks own about 2.17%. However, if you notice on my screen, I highlighted the increased positions have decreased tremendously. Only 7,000 were bought, and they sold about 1.5 million. New position will increase, same thing, 7.1. That sort of came up to increased position, and sold out position is 588,000. So they're selling out pretty much out of this position, okay? And there's a reason behind it why they're doing that, right? So the short interest on the stock, look at this. The short interest on the stock is 38%. That's skyrocket, okay? Anything above 20, it's bananas. Like, for example, AMC, I believe, is like 21 or 20%. All right, GameStop is like 23%, I believe, something like that. Even those you saw the numbers, right? Like the numbers are fluctuating left and right. They went up to $500. GameStop, for example, came down to like 200, and it was $20 stock, right? So what happens with the short problem is that every time there's a higher number for short float, the stock price is gonna rise. It's called short squeeze. It's a cosmetic rise, where they're trying to indicate that the stock is going to go up, and poor investors like you and I will go in and jump onto the board without realizing back-end story behind the stock. So the back-end story would be that nobody is trying to hold that stock, and what they're doing is they're bringing the stock all the way high, right? Investors start selling the stock, and the stock price falls. When it falls, they buy it back at the lower price and sell it back. So right now, the stock float is 38%, which is 9.6 million shares in the market right now that needs to be covered, which means that short sellers who borrowed this share to sell it have 30 days left to cover the stock, okay? The stock is up 12% on the day. Now, what is the thing I'm making this video is because the weird thing I notice is usually I go and review the 10Ks or 10Qs or 8K for that matter for any stock just before I make a move or understand what the company's all about. They have nothing on file, okay? As you see right here, it says no filing available. I don't know how's that even possible. I'm going to look up the SEC rule on a stock that is trading. How many years do they have to maybe because they launched like a year ago or a year and a half ago, maybe that's the reason they don't have the like they don't have to do it early on. I got to read up that rule because I thought any stock that is traded and a fiscal year when they close, they need to at least produce some 10Qs or at least, or something, right? So they have nothing on file. So there's nothing we could confirm. There's a cash flow statement on Yahoo, but that shows a very positive number, and I didn't want to trust it at that point because I generally read 10Qs or 10Ks, which is more reliable. That's what they're filing with the government, right? With SEC. SEC interns go back to and produce that, audit it and all that, give it to the government, right? So making sure that everybody's compliant with the government laws and everything like that. So anyway, so short interest is to the roof, right? And looking at the chart, for example, they have there's a rise, right? There's a rise started on March 29th. And now the stock went all the way up to $1.96, where the stock was at 96 cents, right? And if I do the Fibonacci retracement just to see where it sits on the retracement, okay, let me color this up in maybe purple, and I think I colored the wrong one. All right, this one was I meant to color. Let's see, it takes a minute for us to, yeah, now it's good. And I usually used only the desired one for the Fibonacci. We don't need all this extra noise. I'm just concerned about where it sits. So it sits on a Fibonacci right now. It sits on 38.2%, which is, as you know, right, if it hits the 38.2%, it's going to bounce back. Now, this is my personal opinion, not a financial advice. just giving you guys the facts, that when you have a situation like this, right, I would play it in a way that I'm not gonna pretend that I'm gonna hold it. See, if you don't have the 25,000 in your margin account to do the day trade, you get 3 trades, okay? Meaning that if you're using Robinhood or any of these brokerage apps, you can actually do 3 trades per week, okay, where you can make a move. For example, you could buy, let's say, 10 shares on Monday for this stock, and on same Monday you can actually sell that 10 shares within a split second, and you could do that 3 times in a week. And if you see a hot play, right, just note that you always got that 3 perks in your arsenal, right? Always use that, right? I always do that. And I think Monday is still probably gonna kick off again, because if I see the RSI, first of all, the 13 period on a 30-minute chart, EMA, exponential moving average, it's off the roof, okay? It's like, this is way above 48 period line, which means that this thing is just took off from here, okay? From this point on, which is 328, it just took off. There's a big gap right. You saw something happen in between that. There's a dark pool of shares that are traded that you're not aware about, I'm not aware about. That's something dark pool does, and like they do it on and behind doors, okay? They start trading, and you see in aftermarket, you see before the market opened that day on the 29th, the stock was already up to like 174. Okay, now the RSI is saying that the stock is around 54. Anything above 50, it means the stock is smooth, is going up, and it was overbought at this point. And I'm pretty sure this is a mixture of retail investors, and mostly retail investors, because as you saw, right, most of the institutional banks only got in like 7,000 or something dollar wise, right? So I think mostly is a retail investor. Now it's about 54, which means that, and MACD is kind of down. MACD is also an indicator for moving average and conversion diversion, and it's kind of down, but I have a feeling that this is not done yet. They have 30 days to cover their shorts, as we discussed, and their 38% ratio, meaning like there is let's go back to the number for one more minute. 9.6 million shares needs to be covered in 30 days, and if let's say, for example, the stock price does not fall and it stays at $1.50, for example, and they're reaching that 29 days, like, 1 day left or 2 days left, and they still need to cover that. Now then they would have to buy whatever the market value is at that point, right? So now whoever's holding on to it, there's a lot of risk. This is a highly volatile stock, okay? I would not recommend this stock to be hold or anything like that. If you want to play with the tide, just be careful, because I would say only invest money that you can afford to lose, okay? So let's say, hypothetically speaking, the stock price does not fall to bad levels. When they buy that 9.6 million shares on the 30th day, where the stock price is still above $1, for example, the stock price is gonna shoot up, because you're just buying 9.6 million shares at $1 cost. It's gonna increase the demand. Okay, so of the price is gonna go up, but again, I think it's gonna fall before that. People who are behind it is again, I'm not sure what's going on with it. They don't have a lot of employees either. They don't have SEC filings, so the whole thing about this stock is shady. So I would just keep it on a watch list in case you see any video about this and they're promoting this stock. Just be careful. The back end to me is all shady. There's nothing there that I could sort of put really a point to it. If I'm making video on stocks that I recommend, I usually put a lot of effort putting in to see what their 10K filings were, 10Q filings were, and understanding the company, where they're going with it. A company that is building robotics, and you go to the website, there's nothing, I don't see anything robotics as a web service. Like, there's a RAAS, like, I get it, like, but this is, again, not enough for me to understand what the scope is, where they're trying to do, who their partner is, et cetera, et cetera. So just be careful. It's a very volatile play. If you do want to play it, everybody got 3 trades, and I got 3 trades. Everybody should have 3 trades. So just check with the brokerage app. I mean, if you already used it or whatever the case is, you could go to it. And if you're using Robinhood, you could go to your settings, investing, and then it tell you how many trades you have. You could do day trading, but watch the stock. Be careful with it. Again, not a financial advice. Something I want to bring to you with all the facts. and you can make your own decision. So hope you like this video. I'll be making more videos. I want to bring stocks to your attention which are not going up in a positive manner as well, just so we are aware of this. I'm not here to lose money, and I hate anybody losing money on stupid things like this. So if you're new to the channel, please do subscribe to the channel. I make video practically every day now, just to cover different stocks that I'm investing in and I'm looking into, and I just want to bring you on board as well and be able to grow our wealth together. So talk to you guys in the next video.